Hello friends, this is Kiran. Welcome back to my channel. As the day progresses, the guilt starts to creep in. It's a feeling known all too well by working mothers around the globe. Imagine the story of Lisa, a marketing executive with a demanding role. Every morning she leaves her 2-year-old with a sitter, her heart aching as she waves goodbye. The guilt of not being there for every moment, every milestone gnaws at her throughout the day. Then there's Sophia, a single mother juggling 2 jobs to make ends meet. She often finds herself missing her daughter's school events because she can't get time off work. The guilt of not being there to cheer her on, to celebrate her achievements, weighs heavily on Sophia. These stories are not uncommon. They are the silent narratives of countless working mothers who constantly feel guilty about not spending enough time with their children due to their work commitments. This guilt is a relentless companion, sneaking into their thoughts during meetings, casting a shadow over their accomplishments, and often leaving them questioning their choices. But this guilt doesn't stop at the personal level. It seeps into their professional lives too. The constant internal struggle can affect their concentration, their productivity, and their overall performance at work. It's as if their minds are on a seesaw, balancing between their responsibilities at work and their roles as mothers. Moreover, this guilt can have a profound impact on their mental health. It can lead to feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and even depression. It can rob them of the joy of their accomplishments, both as professionals and as parents. It can make them feel as if they are constantly falling short, as if they are never enough. But it's important to remember that guilt is an emotion, and like all emotions, it's subjective. It's not a measure of a mother's love or her commitment to her children. It's a reflection of societal expectations, of the pressure to be perfect, to be superhuman. The question then arises, is this guilt justified? Let's take a step back and break down this guilt. It's a heavy word, isn't it? Guilt. It's a weight that many of us carry, especially when we're juggling careers and family life. But where does it come from? Well, it's often rooted in societal expectations. Society has long held this image of the perfect mother, always present, always nurturing, always there. But the reality is that this image is often unrealistic and puts unnecessary pressure on working mothers. Consider this. In the past, the concept of a working mother was almost unheard of. Women were expected to stay at home, tend to the children, and manage the household. Fast forward to today, the landscape has changed drastically. Many women are not just working but thriving in their careers. Yet, the expectations of motherhood haven't evolved at the same pace. This disconnect between societal expectations and reality is a major contributor to the guilt that working mothers feel. They are often made to feel as if they are failing in their roles as mothers because they aren't living up to this outdated ideal. But here's the good news. Many working mothers are challenging these expectations and managing to overcome their guilt. Take Sarah, for instance. She's a successful lawyer and a mother of 2. She told us, "I used to feel guilty all the time, but then I realized that I was setting an example for my children. I was showing them that women can have fulfilling careers and be great mothers." Or consider Melissa, a teacher and a mother of 3. She said, "I had to stop comparing myself to the perfect mother image. I realized that I was doing the best I could, and that was enough." These are just 2 examples among countless others. It's a testament that it's possible to overcome the guilt and embrace the reality of being a working mother. It's important to remember that it's okay not to be perfect. We are all doing our best, and that's more than enough. So let's shed the guilt and let's celebrate the incredible balancing act that is being a working mother. So how can working mothers overcome this guilt? Well, the first thing to remember is that guilt is often a product of unrealistic expectations. So let's start by setting achievable targets. It's important to understand that being a perfect mother, an efficient employee, a devoted spouse, and an impeccable housekeeper all at once is a myth. It's okay to not be perfect. Aim to be a good enough mother, and know that it's all right to ask for help when you need it. Next, focus on the quality of time spent with your children rather than the quantity. It's not about how many hours you spend with them, but what you do in the time you have. A 15-minute bedtime story, a 10-minute chat about their day, or a quick game during dinner can mean more to your child than an entire day spent together without meaningful interactions. Thirdly, don't hesitate to seek support. Reach out to your partner, family, or friends. Let them know how you're feeling and ask them to step in when you need a break. You can also join support groups for working mothers. Sharing your experiences and hearing about others can be incredibly therapeutic and reassuring. Remember, it takes a village to raise a child. Learn to say no when necessary. You don't have to attend every PTA meeting or bake cookies for every school function. Prioritize your tasks and learn to let go of the ones that are not absolutely necessary. Finally, take care of yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. Make sure you're eating well, sleeping enough, and taking time out for yourself. Self-care is not selfish. It's essential for your well-being and that of your family. The journey of overcoming guilt is a process, not a one-time event. It's okay to have bad days. What's important is to keep moving forward one step at a time. Remember, you're doing the best you can, and that's more than enough. To wrap up, let's revisit the main points we've discussed. Being a working mom can sometimes lead to feelings of guilt, often brought on by societal pressures and personal expectations. This guilt can have a profound impact on both your mental health and your relationship with your child. However, by acknowledging these feelings, seeking support, and practicing self-care, you can begin to overcome this guilt. At the end of the day, remember that guilt is a feeling, not a fact. You're doing an incredible job balancing work and motherhood, and it's important to give yourself credit for that. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.